Yeah, I'm an alcoholic and a very high functioning alcoholic for many, many years. Played in a band for many years called Great Big Sea, and we were the best party band in Canada. And every night was Friday night for us, and I was a world champion Scotch drinker. And I certainly used alcohol to probably not realizing, but to bury some big, deep-seated problems. I was in denial about my alcohol problem. I was using it to medicate and to not face some real problems that needed to be faced. I came to do a speaking engagement about helping yourself. I made a record called Help Yourself, which was about my transition into being alert and awake and sober and living here in the real world as opposed to the world I would find in a bottle. And I came to talk about that to London in last year for the Addiction Services Brunch. And I didn't know Polly or Tiffany at that time, but there was two speakers, Tiffany Rose and Polly O'Byrne, who spoke before me. And they both had experienced sexual abuse in their youth. And I have too. And no one, I hadn't spoken to anyone about it. I didn't want to face it. But when I heard them speak, I knew that I was in a room full of people who would be willing to listen to that truth. So I shared it then. And for me, it was a bridge that needed to be crossed, and I had been in denial about it. And I think it was one of the last big impediments to my success. I'm really glad that I was at that event and that I heard them speak. And then I, of course, shared my story for the first time, and it became news and all that. But fundamentally changed and helped me understand where my real problems were coming from. So I owe them both a great debt. And what I've learned, I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. And the enemy is denial. And that is what has to be faced. And everyone carries some form of denial, I believe, with them. And I've learned that you can't move forward and deal with problems without facing them. And from now on, I seem to be drawn now, if things are hard or difficult to do, I see that as a sign that they must be done. And all I can say is, if I've learned anything, it's that these things can be accomplished if you're willing to face them down and do the work and be real with yourself. And you're not alone. I think if I had anything to say to myself as a younger man, it'd be like, wake up. Don't be afraid. You're not alone. You can do this type thing. And it might sound a bit cliched, but it's all about doing the work. And you got to wake up before you go to work.